It's like 4x2s
Yeah.
that are grained, and this is kind of the finish I think you might be looking for.
Yes, so quite matte finish.
Yeah, that's not had anything on it. That is just a natural wood with a wire brush over the top.
Okay, so it hasn't been sanded?
No, it's had a little flick with the sander, but other than that, no sanding, just wire brushed. Same with that. And then what we would do with that, probably for cladding, is add a matte finish.
Okay.
We'd use a matte, a Mylac matte or a Mylac satin. Probably a matte gives you a bit more of a grainy finish to it.
Yes, not shiny.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's this sort of stuff we do with the pine as well. That's the outer cut of the beam, this one here. It's been sanded, but the colour's been left on. And then we add a sealant. That part's had a sealant, so you still get a bit of texture to it and colour. But that part's had a wax on top as well. Still doesn't look too shiny, but
I think it's okay. It shows up. I think it shows up all the different tones.
Now these bits of pine here, these are just different levels of sanding.
Yes. So this would be too dark. We wouldn't be. These would be too dark for what we do.
That would probably be
the right
closer to colour-wise, wouldn't it? But this with the oak.
Yes.
This is what we can do with the oak when it comes to wire brushing.
Yes.
Now we can change the colour.
Yes. Just
by how we deal with the wood. This one here has had a grain on it. It's had that wire brush, and you can feel it. You can feel the texture in it. Well, this one hasn't, and it's very smooth.
Yeah, this one is smooth.
Smooth.
This is more like shelving and stuff, isn't it? Yes, I can see that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what we can do with the oak. And then the colour, all three of those, 1, 2 and 3, have had the same wax on it, the same colour. It's just how we finished it before we put the wax. That's had a very smooth sand, that's had a rougher sand, and that one's had a wire brush on it.
Okay.
So we can change colour, you know, not so.
This one is a good colour too, like the greyish ones.
Yeah,
the more greyish tones would look good.
That's all right. This is Ngeow here.
Yep.
Now this has had a stain on it, and then the stain's sanded off slightly, and then that bit's had a wax on the top.
And this bit here?
Yeah, that's the same as that bit, just had the stain sanded off.
Okay.
On that same oak, which is a newer European, that's the same bit, but look at the difference, just depending on what colours you want. And that's had just a stain and a varnish on the top.
Yes, that's more like a tiger print.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of contrast.
Yeah, that's had a stain and a wax, that section.
Yeah.
And then you go down to the bottom, these have just had different colours put on. So that same bit of wood, you can colour lots of different ways. I believe one of them is an American walnut and a light brown, then with a lacquer over the top.
Okay, so we need to decide the actual colour.
Yeah, that's
like
the
that.
biggest thing.
Okay.
But that you can only do with the new oak. It doesn't work so well on the pine.
Ah, okay, right.
The pine, if you want to go down the pine route,
yes,
it's more like what you've seen over here.
Yes.
Or you just grain it like the piece that's. You have the finish like that.
Yes.
Having different whips. Now we would have to use different types of pine to get the different whips. So we might have the wide boards from beams cut from the outer cuts.
Yes.
Or we'd have roof boards.
Yes.
With that, and that would give you slight contrasts in colour as well.
Yes. Okay, so you'll get the greyish tones and all the tones,
you'll get
different tones.
Quite a different contrast because a Victorian beam, for instance, will colour differently to a Victorian roof board.
Okay.
Or an old floorboard.
Yes.
Which we don't come across very often, but I'll show you an old floorboard.
Yes.
That's an old pine floorboard.
And quite wide, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great.
So it is a case of finding, if you can go with pine, that's not a problem. Mix whips, give you a contrast in colours.
This door here,
this
the
was
gate.
oak.
Oak,
That was new European oak that's been stained.
Yes, okay.
Stained down. But yeah, with a pine you'd have different whips, different contrasts in colours, all be grained. So you'd have the texture in all of it, but might just vary slightly in the colours and.
Well, that's good. We want the variation, and each board not to be exactly the same. Otherwise, it's just like a new floor.
The way you combat that is like when we lay floors. Is if you say it's 3 meters long, then we would give you say 45 meters in runs of 3 meters. We would say, right, if you want, say 5 different sizes, 5 different widths.
Yes.
We would give you
a mix of.
We'd mix it, so you could do a run of the thin, run of the thick, run of the thin.
Will it affect the cost if like how many types of widths you want?
Not really. The average price
just
is the thin stuff, like the 5-6 inch stuff. That's about £30 a square metre plus that.
Okay.
You go up to say maybe an 8 or a 9 inch. That's closer to £40. Okay. So what we just work out is an average price. So if you're having a mix, we might say, right, that's £35 a square metre for all of it,
package,
and then you'll get your big ones and the small ones. So if you make 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5 inch, that's going to be 5 different sizes.
Okay.
And then to get the contrast, you would put the thin ones next to the thicker ones, and you'd mix it around. So. I'm thinking, is this something you might use? Because this is, we can get this effect that gives you that
striped effect.
Stripy rough. If you look at that picture you took,
yes,
you got quite a lot of that in it. See where you got the wider grain?
Yes.
If you look at your picture closely.